Shalom, friends. In this week's Torah portion of Tetzaveh, we have a very elaborate description of the high priestly garments. And one of the things that we see is that the high priest is covered from his head to his forehead all the way down to his feet, but yet his face is left exposed. Why is that? Well, today is my anniversary. Happy anniversary, love. 24 years I've been married to my lovely, awesome bride. And she revealed to me just a couple of months ago, after she had asked me what I was pondering, to which I responded, nothing. She told me how I have a tell, that when I have something on my heart or in my mind, that there is a way that I look. There's a tell on my face that reveals to her that something is in fact on my heart and in my mind. What does this have to do with the high priestly garments? In Exodus chapter 28 and verse 29, one of the descriptions of the breastplate reveals that the names that are on the stones, the names of the 12 tribes of Israel, are to be placed on that breastplate, and that is to be on the heart. It's one of the unique descriptions of all the garments, that it is to be placed on the heart of the high priest, and in the heart of the high priest. And the face being left uncovered is also indicative of something. When we looked upon the high priest, we were to see the radiance and the glory of the Lord. But there is an expression that plays into what the Lord is revealing here. People don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. And the high priest was to show forth from his face how much he loved and cared for the children of Israel. Back to Exodus 28 verse 29, that he cared for them, that he loved them, and that he bore the burden of them upon his heart, meaning he cared for their cares, their concerns, their trials, their tribulations. The human face is so very expressive. It reveals to us so much about what we're thinking. Subliminally, without even knowing it, it is something that reveals what is inside of us, which is another fascinating connection. Panim in Hebrew is face. Panim. But there is another word that is spelled exactly the same way. Pinim, which means inside. So in the unpointed Hebrew, they look exactly the same, and context tells you which is being inferred. But the rabbis see the connection of the face being the revealer of what is inside of us. The Apostle Paul tells us in 1 Timothy chapter 2, that he desires that we make intercessions for all people, that we are to intercede, and many of the apostles reflect that as well. It's an attitude of how we carry as ministers, as part of our priestly service, as we carry the human other upon our heart. My heart was working hard this morning as I'm up in my backyard here, hiking, snowshoeing through the woods. My heart was pounding. My heart was pushing life to the parts of my body that needed it in order to push my body up some of these hills. When we place the burden of the human other on our heart, when we place their name there, when we place the trials, the tribulation, even if we don't know their name, just human other, just human being, our heart is to pump the strength, the life, as we carry that burden into the Holy of Holies through the Messiah, in whom we are now priests and ministers before the living God. That is our priestly service, and that should be expressed on our face. When people see us, let them not see anger or bitterness or resentment, even though we all have our moments. Let them see a genuine care and love and concern for them, so that they don't have to read the tells, but they see the light of God, the love of God shining out upon us. And that's one of the things that we see in the priestly blessing. Panav Elecha, the Lord's face shining upon us. And when his face shines upon us, we should see in him, or through him, his heart for us. And in that we find his grace and his mercy. Shabbat Shalom, my dear friends. Happy anniversary to my wonderful, awesome wife. Love you. Shabbat Shalom. Amen.